activities. So share with us your insights, your thoughts, your perspectives, and your expertise on how we can be able to leverage technologies and emerging innovations to be able to tap into this available potential, to be able to have this region sustainable, self-sustainable in terms of energy that can be able to drive our economy.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor. And I'm very privileged to be here representing engineers in this country. And I hope we have engineers in the house. Do you have engineers in the house? Thank you very much. A good question, Professor. And we have heard this morning the amount of natural resources we have within this region. We were told about the second biggest freshwater lake in the world. And I recall that last year, 17th
so I will ask you to
February, I was in Kisumu City. Doing something, and I was leaving around 9 a.m. And the temperatures were around 35 degrees Celsius. I took off and I went to Nairobi, and around 1 p.m., the same day, the temperatures were around 3 degrees Celsius. The question is, the natural resources that we have, how do we harness them, and how do we utilize them? Free sun, sunlight for that matter, free freshwater lake. How do the two combine in addressing the issues that we face as a community and a society in this part of the world? The Institution of Engineers of Kenya has been very vocal in advocating for industrialization because we believe it's going to be transformative, it's going to create opportunities for young people, and it's going to be a catalyst for economic transformation. We took a trip to Germany last year to kind of benchmark. And one of the key things that emerged is that that country transformed through SMEs. Every other village you go across, the fourth family owns a unique industry. They all started like small carpenters, small mechanics, etc. But they have further embraced technology. You won't imagine that the biggest producer of fire doors and those kind of installations, the fourth biggest, that is a family business. And we have so many, businesses here in Kondele and elsewhere, probably mechanics running their businesses. We have talked about the fish industry. What can we make sure that with the solar that we have and the fishing industry that we have, the combination of the two natural resources that we have, water and sun, we can get something that is transformative to our economy. I believe that as we want to see a Nyanza that is rising, the space of SMEs is very critical. And technology, the conversation that we're having, transforms the small businesses that we're having to be able to bridge the gap, access the markets, to be able to increase efficiency. And so for that mechanic, if they are lining their vehicle, and they were using the camber, previously we were using the camber, the rope, and whatnot, using technology, the computer, when you talk of the limitless opportunities for learning and improving their capacity, accessing the market, I do believe someone in New York still needs furniture, the simple chair, the simple stool. What can a carpenter in Kisumu do to access the market in New York, for instance? In agriculture, using technology, how can we improve efficiency, access to markets, globally, because those are the things that we need to be talking about. Very brilliant conversation over here about fish farming and commercializing that enterprise. How can we improve our access to the market in the sugar industry, in production in our farms, what we could produce in a week, engaging 100 workers, deployment of machinery. What transformation can this produce? As a society, we know that there are things that we cannot outgrow. One is a need for food. We will need to eat, whatever context we are in, wherever we are. Primarily, and secondary to this, is health. And I believe we need to also invest in health for our people. Technology, how can we invest in tech for health and for this reason? And I believe we really need to transform our villages, our communities, through enhanced health and investment in technology. Can we take hospitals to where people are? Instead of waiting for people who are sick to go to hospitals, deployment of technology. And it's not as complicated as we want to talk of. We want to talk about machine learning, deep learning, AI and stuff like that. But there are simple approaches to technology. Can we have mobile hospitals, vehicles moving to the communities and getting into the space of preventive care instead of curative care? The space of wastewater treatment, where engineers are in, for example. If I want to treat wastewater in Kisumu City, for example, using traditional waste stabilization ponds, I look at huge or vast amount of land that I need. But I can deploy technology, MBBR, SBR, MBR, etc. And I use a small footprint of a football pitch. And so the conversation of deployment of technology is actually unceasing. We are not only limiting ourselves to fintech, AI, machine learning, deep learning, but all facets of technology that we can use to transform our agriculture, our health, our energy sector through green economy, etc., etc. These are opportunities that we can harness in large scale to be able to and I'm sure this is a conversation that we're having right here in this conference.
Thank you, engineer, for those very informative points.